go to the course part 3. So we looked at the learning modules quite a bit, and there's a lot of information there. Let's get into elements and principles just quickly so that because chapter 2 is this week, you're going to get into this anyway. When you're writing about artwork, and this is called formalism, these are the formal concerns when you're looking at artwork. So chapter 2 covers a lot of formal terms. And elements and principles are color, form, line, mass, shape, space, texture, time and motion, value, volume. Now, things change a little bit. Principles of art. Some people will put different things in different categories, but the elements and principles are basically the recipe for making art. Like color and form, think of it as like eggs and sugar, right? So eggs, sugar, flour, what else? Milk for mass. But the principles are going to be how they're concocted. How is it going to be put together? Are you making a pancake? Are you making a layered cake? Are you making biscuits? Okay, so the principles are going to take the different colors and contrast them more highly. Say you're going to have a really dark blue versus a bright yellow, so that's high contrast. So it's going to get into some different things, patterns, repeating these organic shapes, which if we go back here, we have our shapes over here. A little bit unclear why these numbers are off, but these are correct in terms of color, form, line, and you go through here and you can verify it by looking in chapter 2. So that's our how to succeed in the course learning modules. Week 1. I know, about time we got there, right? So each week is going to show you, and I'll pull up one more week so you can see that these have these assignment breakdown and points. So week 1 is going to have this breakdown of points. Now, this is a little different for the first week because it's explaining a lot of things. It's going to talk to you about the PowerPoints not being graded in the study materials. And it's going to explain that the quizzes only have 2 attempts possible, highest score out of the 2. Now, some chapters are going to be 10 points and some are going to be 20. The chapters that don't have a homework assigned to it, that's going to be 20. The ones that do have a 10-point quiz. So you'll have some uploads, and you're going to find that in those Canvas guides. I also kind of gave you the handout on that too, or the link to it. So email me on assignment questions on uploads or technical issues, go to the BC resources, and those are in a couple different places. Muddiest point discussion, which is, if you go into discussion, that's over here, and I'll bring you over there in a minute. Okay, so our learning objective for this week is to engage in a critical analysis of a work of art, including how a work is composed or created. That's mainly in chapter 2. You have your syllabus quiz worth 20 points, your chapter 1 quiz point with 20 points, chapter 2, 10 points, okay, because there's going to be a discussion in chapter 2 for homework. Okay, total is 100 points. So all this added up is there. Now 0 to 10 points for the field trip, that is because it's extra credit. Now let's go to discussion. So if I click here, there's a link, and it's going to take me here, but I'm just going to go ahead and click this link. And now see how we're in discussions? First menu bar is going to tell us we're in courses and discussions. So this has a lot of information. I know it's a lot. And this may be slightly different by the time you look at it. I might still modify this a little bit. But what you're going to do in elements and principles, you're going to use that worksheet that we were just there, and you're going to discuss in 6 detailed sentences for your initial post, and then you're going to make some replies to other students. Okay? That's our rubric down here. I don't have rubrics for everything this semester because I've changed things around so much, but I will, work on those a little bit. So you're going to find something, something that's in chapter 4 through 13. You're not going to pick anything from chapter 2 because that's already doing the work for you. Okay, so you'll find something from chapters 4 through 13. You're going to give me the figure number, the artist, title, date, medium of the work. Medium means what it's made of. Like if it's oil on canvas, that's what you're going to say, oil and canvas painting. Or you're going to say a stone carving. All right. Why did it catch your eye? 4 points on that. What element or principle is the easiest for you to identify, which means the dominant element, okay? If we're looking at something that's black and white and you're telling me that color is easy to identify, that would be incorrect, and that's your big 20 points there. What's the most difficult for you to identify? Now, in that case, you could say color because it's monochromatic. It doesn't have a lot of color. So there's some replies here, and then adding an image is 3 points extra credit. So if you upload an image in this discussion, then you'll get some extra credit. Okay, so that's one of the first assignments you're going to have this due this week. Ignore this stuff that says, this other dates on here because I've reused this from other semesters, and that's why that's there, but it's due June 6th, 11 p.m. Other discussions. So if I click on this, it's going to load. Oh, now this is weird. I don't know why it shows that. It's going to load all the discussions you have for this semester. You're going to introduce yourself. That's actually the first thing you're going to do. But when you get confused, down here, this will be open the whole 5 weeks. This is called Muddiest Point, and this is something that online classes have. So this is sort of like imitating. If I'm sitting in a classroom full of 65 of my fellow students, and I'm like, do you remember what she said about this or blah blah blah, that kind of thing. That's what this is for. You would just hit reply, same as you would do with any discussion. Say, I am confused about chapter 4 quiz. Remember, we used that one before. Does anyone else have an issue viewing the questions? Like something's technically wrong, perhaps. And then you post reply, and then maybe somebody can respond to that, right? So that's something that you guys can interact with each other. I will weigh in and when I'm online next. But, I have 5 other classes, so for you to get a fast response, sometimes this is the best way. Monday through Thursday, you can email me directly, and that's inbox down there. We talked about that. Or just directly email me from your school account, okay? Don't do Gmail or anything else. You got to use your school account when you email me, okay? But this is a bunch of information. So this gives you some tech support information down here. And I'm going to cancel this because I don't want to save it. The other thing, I'm going to backtrack a little bit here on announcements. This went out today. First announcement. Now this gets emailed to you because you set your notifications, remember? So this will go to you. This went out today, the 31st, and this gives you information about what's happening in the course. It's a little dry, I know, but I'm really trying to be informative. I'm not overly friendly in this particular announcement, just giving you information on due dates. Okay? But you can always double check announcements and discussions if you feel like you've missed some information. Those are archived here. They don't go away. Let's go back to our week 1 we looked at, and this is the way it will look. Let's go back to how it looks. It's really small because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. It's so fast. Week 1, drop down. We go through here. We have the syllabus quiz. We have the first Friday extra credit. We have the discussion. See how this icon's there? That's a discussion. Then down here, we're going to have more fun. You get to listen to my voice more. Now, you don't have to watch these videos. If you are a good learner from reading and books, that's fine. These are just to help you. Same thing with the other PowerPoints. I would consider looking at least one version of the PowerPoints. You have this one, and this is going to be annoying. Deities and Places of Worship, Part 2. So this is going to be my voice over this, area where right? These videos are. And excuse me. And it's a little confusing because some of these cultures overlap a little bit, and then time-wise. So you're chapter 1 with audio and video. They expand and contract. So in other words, Cycladic culture right here, which is the earliest. So you have an option of looking at chapter 1 video with audio, that's my voice. And then the other option is just the straight PowerPoint if you want to look at it without my voice. But sometimes it's helpful to know what I'm going to emphasize for the exam questions. Chapter 1 quiz follows. You see how there's a due date and points right there. Then we get into chapter 2. This is all for week 1, due on the 6th. So there's quite a lot of stuff here, 100 points. Same thing, there's a chapter 2 audio PowerPoints 1 through 8, big chapter. Then you come down here and you have 10 points for chapter 2 quiz and chapter 2 homework that we looked at. The discussion, it's 40 points.